Okay, so all right. So what is up, everyone? Today we're going to be diving into Reaktor, sound design tool, and looking at how to create a growl bass in Reaktor, a Skrillex style growl bass. So if you're new to Reaktor, it's a sound design synthesis tool which we use to design sounds, synthesizers, patches, and modular racks. When you open up Reaktor, you're going to have three different sections. One is the play section where you play instruments. One is the patch section where you patch together racks. And one is the build section where you build synth samplers and effects and sound design tools. So we're going to dive into the build section today because it gives us the most flexibility in designing those sounds. And we're going to make a Skrillex style growl bass from scratch in Reaktor. So this is perfect for dubstep, drum, and bass or heavy bass music. So before we start, let me know in the chat or in a comment, who's your favorite bass producer? Is it Skrillex or someone else? And so let's get into building the core. We're going to start off and we're going to go into the player section and we're going to start building on the core of our growl bass, using FM synthesis. And this is where the magic really happens. First, we need a basic wave oscillator, and we're going to need to go into the bento box collection, pull out an oscillator, and this gives us our basic wave. This will be our main sound source, and the second one we'll need is another oscillator, and we're going to assign that a sine wave. So I'm going to duplicate the oscillators that we do have here. We're going to assign them oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. And then from there, we're going to give it some more character, add some more width, and we'll modulate the first one. And we'll do that with frequency modulation. And it gives the growl bass an aggressive harmonic texture. So our first one, we'll do a basic sine. And our second one, we'll do frequency modulation. So we can use to frequency modulate it, we can use an LFO or another source. But right now we're going to use an LFO to apply frequency modulation to our second oscillator. And I'm going to also add in some node-in blocks, a node-in block, so that we can receive signal from our keyboard. And we're going to go out from there. We'll put them in series like this. I'll bring in a mixer. And we will also bring in a amp. So I'm gonna start playing with this, tweaking it, and cranking up the FM amount. Let's turn it up. So first I'm going to organize my panel a little bit so it makes a little more sense. And then we will turn up that FM amount, turn up the amp. So now we're getting some sound through. We can hear our oscillator or oscillators going. So now we can get them both on. We're going to assign pitch control for the second one as well. And for the second oscillator, we're going to turn up the frequency modulation. So we can hear the frequency modulation being applied to the second oscillator. And you can see it makes the sound a little bit more metallic and robotic. So that's what we're going for, to get that wobbly bass sound. So now we're going to use a bandpass filter to really shape it out. So I'm going to add a filter in between our steps here. And we can carve it out. And from here, we're going to keep moving forward, and we'll remove any unwanted frequencies that we don't want. Let's say some higher frequencies. And then we've created some movement with the LFO so far, and we can automate the filter. So I'm going to add another LFO and assign it to our filter, and add some automation there. So I'm going to name my LFOs just so we don't get lost. These are very basic names, but they just keep us organized over time. So LFO2. Okay. So I want to sweep that filter back and forth. So add some more FM out. So we're just going to keep tweaking our sound for a little bit here until we get something that we like. Okay, so Gonna add envelopes and amps, so I have some control over when the sound starts and stops. That's a little glide. I'm not gonna need that. And add a little distortion to this, make it more aggressive. Gonna connect our left and right in and throw in some distortion. And this one we're gonna name it to our amp envelope or amp ADSR. And there we have it. So this is the basics, the beginning of the EDM sound. Hopefully you can take this away and tweak it to your liking. Hopefully this was a demonstration of how to generate the sound and get it in the right direction. And you can really just sculpt the sound to exactly how you'd like to see it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.